Baganda baffe twelwaneko tulwanyise cancer twelwaneko abazadde.
Cancer is a disease that knows no boundaries. Its devastating impact continues to ripple through families, communities, and the very fabric of our community.
I'm Dr. Nole Mujisha, and I am responsible for the efforts to write the Uganda National Cancer Control Plan. I am coordinating the efforts. I don't want you to think that this is going to be something authored by Dr. Mujisha, but I'm coordinating the efforts to write the Uganda National Cancer Control Plan. We have not had any plan that lays down strategies to control cancer in this country, though we've had cancer fight efforts for quite some time. Uganda Cancer Institute has been in existence for over 50 years. The Kampala Cancer Registry has been in existence for over 50 years. And I'm sure there are many other groups that have been in existence in this country for over 50 years. But interestingly, we have not had any documents, any write-up that really coordinates these efforts. And so the first Uganda National Cancer Control Plan is we are making an effort to put together this book, this document that clearly outlines what we intend to do as a country to fight the disease cancer. And I want you to understand that when we talk about controlling cancer, we are talking about everything that we do, right from preventing cancer, treating the cancer, survivorship for those who survive it, but even end of life for those who eventually succumb to the disease. Because I usually tell people that eventually every one of us dies. What does the Uganda Cancer Control Plan contain? Now, if you ever get this booklet, just expect that you find it organized in chapters, but the chapter that contains the gist of cancer control is organized in pillars. So there is a pillar for health promotion and cancer prevention. There is a pillar for cancer early detection. In that one, there is screening and early diagnosis, and there is a pillar for diagnosis and treatment. There is also a pillar for survivorship and palliative care, and there are sections in the plan for monitoring and evaluation, and also a section for implementation frameworks. Now, one of the things that makes the Uganda National Cancer Control Plan unique is that we have a chapter on cancer control in children. Now, if you do not know, when it comes to cancer, generally speaking in the world, children are usually left behind because there is a belief or a myth that actually cancer is a disease for old people, which is totally wrong. And so we've made sure that in the Uganda National Cancer Control Plan, we have a chapter that focuses on children. This lays down strategies for preventing cancer in children, strategies for detecting cancer in children early, and strategies for effectively treating cancer in children. Because at this point I should say that cancer in children is actually the most curable cancer you can ever have. And so many of the people that have survived cancer have actually been treated for cancer when they are children. So we have a chapter for cancer control in children. We also have a chapter for cancer control in special interest groups, and these groups will particularly specifically focus on cancer control in people living with HIV and AIDS, because many of them are enrolled in care, they are meeting healthcare providers regularly, and we want to take that as an opportunity to detect cancers early in them, but also to prevent cancer. We have a section in this chapter on cancer control in people living with albinism. Again, this is a special interest group in a sense that they are at high risk of developing skin cancers. And again, they are also few. So we have strategies that we would want to focus on in order to prevent skin cancer in these individuals. Those that come down with it, to treat them effectively and make sure that we don't lose people living with albinism to skin cancer. We also have a section in this chapter on cancer control in refugees. Uganda is well known for being a host for many refugees, and in our effort to fight cancer, we've actually found out that preventing cancer in refugees, even treating cancer in refugees, is a bit complex, because they come from wherever they have come, with the baggage they come with, the distress they come with, and when they reach here, there's no clear flow of how they can receive cancer services and how cancer services can be supported. I know they are all supported by the Prime Minister's office, but when we do not have certain drugs in the country, when we don't have certain services, it becomes very, very difficult to ensure that refugees are able to access quality services. And so in our National Cancer Control Plan, we've laid out strategies to streamline this, to make sure that the refugees get the best cancer services that are available. And then you ask yourself, when this plan is approved and is being implemented, is rolled out, what difference is it going to make in the cancer fight arena, or what difference it is going to make for the average Ugandan? Now I want to tell you that the Uganda Cancer Control Plan is written in such a way that it involves all stakeholders. In every pillar, we've actually put strategies for every single citizen in this country. These days I tell people that we've even put strategies for people who are heads of families, what they should do to fight cancer in their families. So when we are rolling it out, it has strategies and actual interventions for every single individual. I can highlight one, that we've put interventions that every individual can take on. One of the interventions is being physically active. Sometimes individuals think, I cannot do anything to fight cancer, but if you can fight cancer in yourself, prevent cancer in yourself, then you're making a contribution. We have also written it in such a way that it has interventions right from the community up to the national referral level. And for me, I think that makes it unique, that there are cancer control services at the community level that can be implemented by everyone: health workers, village health team members, and community members. We have cancer control services that can be delivered at Health Center 1, Health Center 2, Health Center 3, Health Center 4. But we also have cancer control services that can be delivered in other sectors, in the agriculture sector, in the transport sector, in the economic sector, because we have strategies actually for the Ministry of Trade to address, the taxes, dealing with tobacco, dealing with herbicides and pesticides. So when it's rolled out, it's going to be a platform for every individual to make a contribution to the cancer fight. And that is exciting for me as a person who is coordinating this effort of putting together the National Cancer Control Plan. And so one of the things that we anticipate is that when it's finally approved and we begin rolling it out, we will need to do a lot to sensitize all Ugandans to know the content of the National Cancer Control Plan, but not only that, to also know what to do as individuals. Now, I think the other aspect that I need to talk about is the collaborative oversight in the plan, or the collaborative layout in the plan. Now, in the plan, there is where we've actually done an analysis of stakeholders, and we've identified the different stakeholders that contribute to the different interventions, identified the resources they have, identified the positions they are at, so that when any stakeholder picks the plan, they are able to know, this is my role, These are the resources I bring on board. This is how I ensure that my contribution is making a difference or is contributing to achieving the objectives of the Uganda National Cancer Control Plan. Now, I wanted also to make mention of how we are creating opportunities for every individual. When we were writing this, we thought about people thinking the plan is a government plan. But we wrote it in such a way that when you pick the plan, you're able to see that actually this is not a government plan. Because in our write-up, we have actually tagged example stakeholders to different interventions and different strategies. And for me, I think that's attractive in a sense that when you pick it and you're a civil society member, you're able to see, okay, if this civil society is tagged to this objective, what is my role? What do I do? You identify the intervention that falls within the activities you do, within the mandate that you have as a stakeholder. So thank you very much for listening, for watching. We are very, very happy to continue sharing details about the Uganda National Cancer Control Plan as we move forward. I want to tell you that at the Uganda Cancer Institute, actually, the Institute has budgeted for the plan. And I'm saying this, that we are doing this because we know we are writing the plan, but cancer control activities and interventions are going on in the country. So the draft plan actually is something that when we have the Ministry of Health Top Management endorse it, we want to begin disseminating it, as that the rest of the processes are really just to make sure it's rubber stamped. Because the longer we delay, the longer we also delay to align our interventions to a common objective. So thank you very much once again. I remain Dr. Nole Mujisha. I work with the Uganda Cancer Institute, but I am coordinating the efforts of writing the Uganda National Cancer Control Plan. Thank you.
We call upon the Ministry of Health to speed up the approval of the Uganda National Cancer Control Plan. This message is brought to you by the Uganda Cancer Society with support from the Commonwealth Foundation.